Let's go. Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. In 3D. Even if you freaking hate the movie, you gotta admit these 3D glasses are pretty sweet. Look at the Darth Maul on the side there, that is just freaking awesome. Warning, this review will probably end up containing spoilers about Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, so if you haven't seen it, go see it, then come back and watch my review. But it is 13 years old, so I would assume you've already seen it by now. Okay, I'm not going to wear those glasses the whole time, sorry. Now, I am a huge Star Wars nerd. Don't trust me? Yeah, I told you. So, Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. This seems to be, among the general public and the fanboys, the worst Star Wars movie. Everyone's like, George Lucas raped me when he made this movie. Everyone seems to just really loathe and hate this film. Me, I don't hate it. I can't hate Star Wars, guys. It's Star Wars. It's awesome. I'm such a huge Star Wars fan. There is a lot wrong with this movie, and let's get to that right now. The performances in this movie, for the most part, are actually very good. Ian McGregor, I really like him as an actor. I think he was really good in this movie. I don't need to tell you that Liam frickin' Neeson is awesome in this film. Also, Natalie Portman when she's like 18. Isn't hard to look at, nor she's not a terrible actress. And then you also have like kind of cameo appearances by Samuel L. frickin' Jackson, and he gets more awesome in the later prequels, but he's still sweet in this movie. Frank Oz, I think, returns. Is it Frank Oz? I'm pretty sure it's Frank Oz is the voice of Yoda. And you know, there's just some really talented actors in these Star Wars prequels. Then there's Jake Lloyd as young Anakin Skywalker. I feel like in movies now, kid actors go 50-50. There's movies like Hugo or True Grit, where the kid actors are so good, and you love these kid actors. They're giving magnificent performances. Then there's just, you know, kind of Disney comedy movies and this, where the kid actors give cringe-worthy, annoying as crap performances. I did not believe for a second that Jake Lloyd's Anakin Skywalker was going to grow up to be Darth Vader. It's just not believable. You know, I like where Lucas was going with making him a slave and all. Slaves, do they have good lives? Heck no. No, they don't. Their lives suck. They're slaves, you know. So Lucas making him a slave, obviously he's going to be depressed because he's a slave, right? No. No, he's not depressed. I imagine Darth Vader as a little kid being some kind of messed up kid who's very powerful with the Force. And, you know, he's powerful with the Force in this movie. Yeah, who cares? I mean, they even had to introduce the weird midichlorians for no apparent reason to, like, explain the Force, which no one really cared about in the first place. But he's a slave, which makes sense. Slaves are supposed to be, like, depressed, but he's not depressed. He's a happy little bratty kid who runs around saying, "Yippee! Now this is pod racing!" all the time. It's just annoying and unbelievable and just butchers the best movie villain of all time, that is Darth Vader, into this stupid brat. Okay, I don't know if George Lucas is just a flaming racist or something, but there are so many characters that are racial stereotypes in this film. The Trade Federation people like Newt Gunray, I mean, now I'm not intending to be racist with any of these comments, but the Trade Federation people like Newt Gunray, they are so Chinese, Japanese, war, dictators. And then you got Watto, who is basically a greedy Jewish man. I mean, he's got the nose and everything. Then we have Jar Jar Binks. Now, I wasn't necessarily bothered by Watto or the Trade Federation people. They weren't really awful characters. Jar Jar Binks not only is a horrible stereotype, He is annoying as crap. The entire Gungan race can go die for all I care. They're all annoying, they all are freakishly weird stereotypes and completely unnecessary and terrible characters to this film. Okay, I've gotten through my rantish part of this review. I actually really like this movie, and there's a lot good about it. That's the main stuff that sucks in this film. But there actually is quite a bit to really enjoy about this movie. The characterization, the storytelling, and the script are just a step below the original Star Wars movies. It's just not nearly up to par compared to how great, Return of the Jedi and everything was. It's just not nearly as good, which I can understand why a lot of people hate it especially when they first saw it, because it's just such a jarring and big disappointment. The special effects in this movie, especially for their time, are just great to look at. I mean, they're beautiful. I mean, that's something that, especially, maybe they haven't aged well, but I feel like these special effects are very well done. A little bit too overused to CGI. I don't think every character pretty much has to be CGI. Come on, Lucas. You can do makeup. You got the freaking budget. But just very good special effects all around. Now, in my opinion, there are two scenes in this movie. I mean, there's lots of great scenes in this film, but there are two scenes in this movie that literally are some of my favorite scenes in all of the Star Wars movies. They're just so fantastic. The first scene being the pod racing scene. Besides the cheesy one-liners that Anakin has to yell at the whole time, the special effects and just watching that scene is so fun. And the second being the Darth Maul, Qui-Gon Jinn, and Obi-Wan Kenobi final duel fight. That is the best choreographed lightsaber fight in all Star Wars history. Don't get me wrong, I don't like that scene better than the Darth Vader Luke Skywalker, but as a lightsaber battle, like the people fighting with lightsabers, that is definitely the best in all of Star Wars. The movie's also really entertaining. I mean, it's Star Wars, it's got lots of stuff that's different than a lot of summer movies, but it's a popcorn flick in the end, and this movie is ridiculously entertaining. There's lots of fun to be had with this film. And also, the villain in this movie, Darth Maul, is one of my favorite Star Wars villains. Probably my third favorite Sith in all of Star Wars. He's just so creepy, and you don't know crap about him. He doesn't talk. You never learn anything about him. Don't watch the Clone Wars. That just ruined that character for me. But Darth Maul, he's got that Darth Vader effect. He's weird, he's creepy, and he's got the double-bladed lightsaber. It was the first time we really saw a different lightsaber, and you're like, whoa, that lightsaber's not normal, and that's also kind of freaking awesome. I mean, Darth Maul, just such a fantastic. So overall, I really like Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. The 3D. Now you're wondering how the 3D was. It's forgettable. I don't like 3D that much. I couldn't really tell a difference. I just went to go see Star Wars again in theaters. My mom and my dad told me it's the first movie I ever saw in theaters back when I was 3 or 2. So it's kind of cool nostalgia value for me there. I mean, Star Wars, it's Star Wars. I love Star Wars. This is not my least favorite Star Wars movie. We'll get to my least favorite Star Wars movie eventually. But this is still a very enjoyable film with very obvious flaws. I'm going to give Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, 7.5 out of 10. Go check out my other movie reviews, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.